a mentorship program. We're asking for 100 men and women inside of our community to come together, and we want to get those juveniles that's still in cars, we want to pair them up with a mentor. That job of that mentor will be is to make sure that they're staying out of cars, making sure that we're giving them the necessary resources that they need to not steal a car, and to also make sure that these kids, that we are guiding them in the way that they need to go. So you have heard the 3 things that we want to bring to the table. Hopefully we have gotten this out to every politician inside of the city. We have gotten this out to all of our parents inside of our community. School board, we need you on deck. We need all hands on deck. We're not here to blame anybody. But what we're trying to say is if we can all come together, if we can all come to the table, you will definitely see a change that's taking place inside of here and inside of our community. And so that's the major focus. And so our last speaker of the day is, I want to bring up, he's been a fighter for our youth as long as I knew him, since he's been sitting on city council. Now he's in Tallahassee fighting for us. I want to call up our state representative, Wengay Newton, to come up and speak a little bit.
Good evening. I want to first thank the press that thought it not robbery to come out and cover this, because it's important that you get the message out. I also want to thank Mr. Lewis Stevens for putting this together. You know me, I served 8 years in this building behind us. I'm a product of South St. Pete, the Midtown area, the most impoverished area in this whole county of 1 million people. Food stamps, WAFAMs, government cheese, free lunch, reduced lunch, summer jobs, after school jobs, you're looking at it. Single divorced mom raising 8 kids in the ghetto, which is behind the hood, off government programs, helped me to be where I'm standing. I have no illusions on what got me where I'm at. Those summer jobs, those after school jobs. But for those opportunities, not those guarantees, but those opportunities, I wouldn't be here. You know the stats, you run the stats. Single divorced mom raising 8 kids off government subsidy. I'm supposed to be either dead or in jail, not doing what I'm doing. So I know I'm blessed. But to whom much is given, much is expected. My challenge is this. Every year on council, my council priority, number 1, was $1 million for youth job opportunity. $1 million. We just passed a budget here, I think, in the city, the highest budget in the history of the city of St. Petersburg, with a unanimous vote. We also have an administration that's been benefiting from surplus budgets from day one. I served 8 years on the council under 3 mayors. We went through the deepest recession in the history of the world. Surplus budget since day one. Also, with Amendment 1 not passing, every municipality, county, and city coffers are overflowing with revenue. Their revenue is where it was at pre-Bush recession. So my challenge is simple. You put together $1 million. JWB fund $1 million. The city the county commission fund $1 million. If the school board can put up $1 million, that'll be fine too. I'll take that $4 million to Tallahassee and bring back 8. Every kid should have a job. Not job training, not against job training and job mentors, all that is good. But at the end of the day, these kids are getting in trouble in the pursuit, the pursuit of money. When I was on that council, I made the police chief come in every quarter and give an update to council. Because I didn't want any bad reports or any spur reactions to a bad situation. And my question was always, and I asked then Chief Harmon, how much time of our sworn officers, how much of their time is spent dealing with juveniles? And he told me, and I quote, he said, from the comm center down, Newton, I figure it's 60 to 70%. 60 to 70% of our sworn officers' time dealing with juveniles. It's not rocket science. You give these kids a job, then you want to deal with them. It's very simple. You know what I'm saying? It's the pursuit of money. And until the ones that are stealing cars, I would tell you stealing cars is wrong. Don't steal cars. My heart goes out to the Spates family. I know their loved ones at the hospital as we speak suffering and trying to pull through. My prayers are with them. My heart also goes out to the 2 young men that died last Tuesday when I was getting sworn in for a second time. You know what I'm saying? This is a no-win situation. But if you roll the wheels back, roll back 8 years, these kids would have been 8, 9, 10 years old. Now we're here 8 years later, they're 18, some of them 19, and they went the wrong way because they didn't have the opportunities that were afforded to me or my single divorced mom raising 8 kids off those government subsidies. We have an opportunity, we have an obligation to make sure we provide for these young people. If we don't, we will be paying the consequences. These chickens are coming home to roost. And that's some of what you're seeing now. Everybody's surprised. I was not surprised. Every year, I made a motion for $1 million for a youth child. And it would die for lack of a second. But we got the money. We had the money for years. It's the commitment to do that. The statement was made in the Carnegie Woodson Garden on a Sunday dinner that $1 million would be put forward and found by the deputy mayor and the finance guy for job opportunities for the kids. I want that million. I want that million. I want the county to put up $1 million. I want JWB to put up $1 million, and the school board to put up $1 million. That also. The way the government works, or the way the legislature works, you have to have some skin in the game. You can't go there empty-handed saying, gimme, 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 gimme. The 100,000 Senator brought back for the Menace Law Firm for Mr. Lewis Stevens program is great, but it's not enough. Right. Not my child, those 40 kids, that's an excellent program, but we lock up 100 to 150 every month without fail. Most of them look like me. Right. So that's not enough. Show me your budget, I'll show you your values. We need commitment. That's enough speaking. These programs and all, they sound great, but at the end of the day, these kids are running afoul in the pursuit of money. Everything costs money. You got a girlfriend, she want hair done, nails done, everything did. Yes, okay? She want to go out to eat. You want to go to the movies. You want the PlayStation 4. You want the new Jordans. You want the iPhone 7. All that costs money. All these kids want to do, they want to be able to work. And we never put enough money in the budget to make sure everybody that want to work can work. The refrigerator work and the stove work, so they ought to be able to work. And my challenge is I'm definitely going to do whatever they put forth. I'm going to take it up there and double it. I can do that. But I need to make sure we got commitment here. Not just lip service, but commitment. Also, I'm going to get with FDOT and do some PSAs. As you know, of the 825 car thefts that happened in this city, 825 of them met the criteria of unlocked and/or running with the keys in them. 825. And I think right now it's a ticketable offense. 120 representatives, 40 senators, and a governor thought it was a bad idea to leave your keys in the car unlocked and/or running before Newton even got to Tallahassee. So I want to do a PSA to try to remind people to take their keys, lock their cars. Because what for these keys, some of these automobiles will not be taken. You know what I'm saying? So we shouldn't make it easy. I'm not saying it's right. I hear you. People that want to yell and want to bash me, I'll take it. I'll take it. If it's your car, they shouldn't steal it. But you don't leave your wallet sitting on top of the car. You know what I'm saying? You won't leave your cell phone laying up there. But it's not just the cars, it's not just the wallets and the cell phone. A lot of these cars have guns in them. And when those juveniles take these cars, they got those guns too. We have a rash of shootings. They're not throwing rocks, they're shooting. They need a gun to shoot. We also got to make sure we advocate and make sure our police chief advocate for a gun buyback program. Right. We don't have that. And he's against it. But it's not for him. It's for the people being shot at. Tampa does it. They took in 1,000 guns within the hour. I mean, they ran out of money. We need the commitment and the leadership, not the speeches, but the leadership to mandate that be done in this city. It's a lot of people that pass away and they leave guns to their spouses. The spouse don't want the guns. And now there's more guns on the streets. When everybody says too many shootings, listen to what they're saying. Too many shootings. Not too many rock throwings, not too many bottles throwings, too many shootings. They do that with guns. We ought to be trying to buy these guns back, get them off the street. And that way it'd be less, that would be one less gun that somebody will get shot with. So I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna do my part because it's how an idea becomes a law, not a bill. But I will carry up any appropriation and try to get it matched by any one of these local governmental agencies that care to put forth money for a commitment for that. They got a priority sheet, they give the council, they get to the legislature. Give me your priority as it pertains to these young people. Show me your budget, I'll show you your value. Thank you.